Good day, everybody. Time once again to do retro CSS battles. These are CSS battles from CSSBattle.dev from the past, daily targets. These are July 4th, July 5th, and July 6th of 2024. Let's go for it. I think what I see here is circles. Circle, 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 4 circles. I guess that's the question is, and I see a white one, W, radial gradient, let's say, circle, and it's white, and then it's transparent. Sure. Okay. So that's one thing. And so if I put this, if I do var dash dash W, oh, and I guess I need some extents on that. I need some color stops, right? 40 pixels, maybe 40. Too small. How about 70? Could be rightish. And let's put this blue in the background. Okay, so I can place that using background position. I can say minus 50 pixels, minus 50 pixels, and move it on the X and Y background position. I don't know, that's sort of a dancing move there. Okay, so let's make sure we've got the size. The size looks a little small, probably. So once we do the white circles, we can do the blue circles as well. Maybe it's 75. Maybe. It's kind of hard to tell, right? 6, 700. 0.5. Nope, too far. How about 95? And then how about 45? Okay, so that's circle number 1. Let's do circle number 2, which is another white one. Those are the easy ones. And then we'll do the hard ones. How about maybe they're exact opposite because they're symmetrical. Okay, and now we got to do a blue circle, and we'll call this B. We're just gonna guess and hope that this is also a circle that's exactly that same size. Will it be? I don't know. We're gonna find out. Will there be side effects? I don't know. Var dash dash B, comma. So there's your eclipse. All right, how about minus 30 pixels? Don't have a space between the minus and the 3. Okay. Minus 40, 50. And then up a little, minus 5 pixels. How about 55 and minus? Sure. And we do that again, but positive. Right, so what those background positions are doing is they're normally at 50%, 50%, right? That's our default. And if it's the size is the whole element, you could also think of that as 0, 0. But we are moving them up and over. When they're both negative, they're both going up and over. When they're positive, they're going down and to the right. Yeah, so that's a solution. There are other ways to do this, right? So there's the weird shape. You could do this with elements and box shadows as well, right? You get a 75 pixel by 75 pixel with a circle, and you make a box shadow, and you would get these very precisely, but you need to make them blue, right? And then with a white shadow, and then the body has to have the blue background. That's it. Let's minify and unit replace. I guess I haven't submitted this to make sure it's 100%. It's possible it's not, in which case I gotta undo what I did because the goal is always 100%. Okay, so there we go. But it's not. Thank goodness. A reminder to me to always double check these solutions. Yeah. Okay. So what do we got here? Oh, definitely an interesting asymmetry happening there. This kind of makes me think it's 2 elements. right? So let's do a linear gradient from side to side and see if that center line is the center line. 90 degrees, red, 50%, and then this color, 0. So is that right on the line? Yes, it is. Okay, so what am I thinking here? I kind of don't like you'll not be surprised for if you watch any of my videos, if you watch any number, that I'm thinking kind of gradient here for the background. And then these the corner things, I'm just not I don't know exactly what I want here, but I want red 25%, and then this lighter color 0, 50%, and then the red again. And then we need an at 50%, 25%, something like that. How about 20% or 15, or just like 60 pixels, whatever that is. 60, 70, no, 50 pixels. Okay. And then I'm gonna do I'm going to use this paragraph element, and I'm going to make some box shadows to put these things in the corner. I don't know. It doesn't feel like a great solution. 0, so -8 to we're going to, so let's just show you what I'm doing here. Background green, so we can really see it. So we ain't got nothing. Height is going to be like 50. Right, and we've got the natural margins of the body affecting our paragraph elements. So we do margin -8 on the top, like 350 on the right, 0 on the bottom, and then -8 on the left. So that's gets you the thing in the corner there. All right, and I'm going to do this as that color. Great. That width needs the width needs to be more, so this margin needs to be less. 40, 42, 42, and then 50, 100. 100 is the height. Okay. And then we've got. I'm presuming these are all the same size. I hope they are. I sure hope they are. Box shadow. 0, 100 pixels, 200 pixels. Okay. And he's that color. And I'm going to set a color of the red. And then I can do 2 more box shadows. 200 pixels, 0. How about 300 pixels, 0? 350. And then 350 pixels, 200 pixels, and that gets you that shape. All right. My impulse to do gradients and those things is great, but in this case, it's not obvious to me, and maybe it would be obvious to you. It's totally possible that there's an obvious way to do this as a win, but I'm happy with that solution. Let's minify and user replace and resubmit, and that's our final answer. Did I user replace? I think I did. Did I? Yeah, I did. Submitting, waiting. Let's have that answer. Hey, backend. Yeah. Okay. So yes. Other things we could do here. None that immediately come to mind for this solution, and that's fine. All right, this guy. Oh, I've been thinking about this fellow. this kind of thing here. So let's do a template. We're going to do a border radius of 100 pixels. Yeah, 100 pixels. Maybe it's 200. Something like some big number. Let's put a background on the body, and we're gonna have two. We're gonna have two elements. The first one is going to be solid blue, and then the second one is going to be transparent with this border to cut out the middle. I could do multiple. I could do one paragraph element or one element for each stripe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or I could do, but I would like to do it in 2 if I can. So let's set this color. And we're going to need margins that are very specific, and we'll put them on this. And so top margin we got to push down 70, 60, great. How about 50? And let's make him taller. 2, 3. Is he 400 tall? Maybe. How about on the sides 52? Okay. All right. So here's what I would like to do. Rather than a background, I'm going to do a border, solid, 40 pixels, and then I need this color. And I need to increase that size until it covers all the blue. 6, 7, 8, 100. That's it. That's great. Okay. Second one. So this guy, I gotta move him up. I'm gonna put a background on him. I don't want one, but I want to be able to see him. So margin minus, probably minus 400, and probably like 72. And probably minus 500, 700. Okay, and then his border width is different. Oh wait, will this work? Oh wait, let's do the border. This is something I didn't even think about. Border 10 pixels, double red. And I can't see anything now. Oh, for 4, 5, 6. Look at that. Okay. All right, new plan. I don't know if this is going to work, but I like it already. 10, 20, 30, 40. And then let's increase these numbers. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that looks good. I have never used a solution. I've never used a solution with a double border for anything. But a 60 pixel double border means that it's 3 layers, a layer color, a layer transparent, and a layer color. And apparently it's evenly divided. So it lets us do exactly this. I hope that this is going to be a perfect match. I'm going to do comma B for that guy, and then I can use dash B here, and that's fun. And we do var dash M here, and then I can do dash M. And I'm going to cross my fingers that when I submit this, I'm going to get a 100% match. It sure looks like a 100% match, and that's great if it is. If it's not, then we have other work to do. There it is. A real shocker for me here. Genuinely surprised that works. I'm very glad that it worked. That's not how I did it before. I did it with all gradient, all on the body. which is a perfectly fine approach, but very different, right? This and the other thing about a solution where you have a height of an element that's taller than the actual body, which is 300 pixels, is that in normal web browsers, you'd have a scroll bar show up almost universally. Not in every operating system, not necessarily on mobile, not necessarily even on desktop, but often. Browsers, hey, the browser wants to say, hey, this is a taller page. And so you would need to do something like an overflow hidden. But we don't need to here. Just a nicety. What other things can we think about here? Yeah, so neither of these elements have backgrounds, which is great. They both have a border radius that is greater than necessary, and that's fine. Could I use like % there? No, I can't. Not with that number. Maybe there might be another way to do it. And can I use a different height here? 3. Yeah, 400 is about as good we're gonna get. If there were a unit that could be tall enough, a single unit with a unit like a Q unit, whatever. But I don't think there's any that's particularly big. I guess you could do, a scale trick. You do it with a small number and then you're scaling it up. But there you're adding characters too. So anyway, that's fun. These are a nice set of targets from July. I'm working my way through July. I'm under 100 left to do of these CSS battles. I've got a page where I'm tracking the doing of all of these, right? And I've done days without videos as of before I upload this video. 97 don't have videos, and then when you look at this page, some of these guys are chronic 99.9% ones that I've failed to do, and so I've avoided them. But I may yet do a video about those and look into why they're so hard, or why I can't do them, or what's wrong with me, or what to do when you're frustrated with a layout problem, which is enjoyable. And I've had a few where I've turned 99.9% match into a better one. So anyway, but these were great. Again, the 4th, 5th, and 6th of July, 2024. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day. Go make a web page. Okay, write some code. It's fun. Share a web page with your friends and write something about your life or the world, or make a CSS illustration, or whatever you do. Go have fun with it. All right. Bye-bye.